Good morning. It's Wednesday, December 27th, about 6:30 a.m. Central Time. Overnight, the precious metals are mixed after yesterday's similar session. You have February gold up $10 at 20.81. March silver down 2 at 24.37. March copper up 2 at 3.92. And January platinum down 2 at 9.97. So kind of a flat session in all those other metals besides the gold market. Now looking at gold, it's one of the more constructive looking metals technically. And the way the chart pattern suggests is we could see this test of 2100 if we get this inflow like we normally do coming into the end of the year, beginning of the year sessions here, especially in that first week. It's the flows, it's the way people are looking at things and their predictions going out into 2024. DMI plus has been over DMI minus, and that's been going on for about a month. Into that November is when we saw this kind of first breakout on up to that 2162. That was the contract high. Stochastics are rising, no, not quite into overbought territory yet, meaning that we've got some strength behind this and we really could get ourselves into the start of a new bull market. The average true range has been about $23 per session here, so you do get a bit of volatility in these markets. Now, something that I want to look back and reflect on, as I always do each year, generally in late December around these times, I come up with some kind of bold predictions going into the following year. I normally write an article on Kitco and it's labeled, it would be just such that, 24 bold and outrageous predictions. Now, if you look at 2023, and the reason why I don't have it up is that Kitco does have a cyber issue. Their website's been down for about 2 weeks now, and they are actually recreating a new website here. So, but on my 2023 outrageous and bold predictions, I said gold, $2,500, silver, $100 an ounce, platinum, $2,000, and $5 copper. Now, those were just outrageous. That was more of a joke and things like that. But when you break down into the nuts and bolts of the reality of what I was coming up with, and the funny thing is that you really got to have nerves of steel if you put out these types of articles, because of the fact that I wrote these things and then people immediately literally crucified me on the internet. It was hilarious. So I said silver could shoot up into the mid 30s, which it never did. It never got going this year. And then I said that it would average and end the year at $28. And people said I was an idiot on that. And the reality is that silver, it never breached $30 this year. So the reason behind that was, and people say manipulation, blah, 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 blah. I don't care about that. I want to look at numbers and figures. And it was China, their reopening was completely flat. If you look at their stock market, it is at like a 5-year low right now. They are really cycling lower. If they can get some momentum going, you should see silver futures much more constructive. So we've got to keep an eye on that going into 2024. That's where I think silver, has a firm bottom in those low 20s. I see value in those areas. I see $24 as a bit of no man's land, 25, 26 without any kind of increase in economic activity in China as a bit of an overbought area. Now, if we do get a few things going on here, now this is where gold comes into play. My prediction on gold was that we would get over 2,000 in different periods. We would probably average about 1950. So I would have to take the average of it and see where we're at. Remember, we were at 1850 about 2 months ago. We got up to 2150. So we will look at some of the averages, and I could kind of, on a scorecard, I think I was a little bit more accurate on that. If you look at the copper market, I did say about 375, 380 as my average, and I believe that that's probably pretty accurate. So I also said on platinum, right around $1,000 would be the average price. I think I was off on that because platinum was really a bit of a dog, and I think it was a drag on the palladium market. And again, blaming China. So bit of a slowdown here. So we'll see what happens here. Now gold, where gold gets really going is that the Federal Reserve, obviously they see something. They see a down in GDP. They see that things are a bit slowing down. They think that they tightened. The problem is that, and not to ramble on, is that they did their job. They raised rates aggressively. They slow down the economy. But they recognize if they stay too high, too long, that slowdown turns into damage. So the damage is where they need to cut rates to prevent that. But if we see that it weighs in on the economy extensively, they will have to do also insurance cuts. So they'll cut 50 basis points instead of 25. That's where the party gets going in gold. That's where silver starts to take off. you get the China, you get that story behind it, 54% of silver's industrial demand, then you're going to see things really take off here. So copper could be front running that type of stimulus in China. So we're gonna have to wait and see on that. If you got any questions, I love to talk to you guys. I love to work with you guys here, different strategies, hear where your value zones are at, hear where you think that, prices are a bit overbought, bit oversold. So, give me a call. I love to talk to you, 312-858-7303. Remember, futures option trading does involve risk of loss, may not be suitable to all investors. Good luck, good trading.